to the Stampin' Squad. My name is Cheryl Dorsey. We're in Southern California, and today is Monday, September 15th, 2025. And today we're going to make a fun fold. This is one of my favorite quick and easy fun fold cards. And I guess autumn doesn't officially start until next week, next Monday, I think. But I'm getting a head start on autumn, and I'm going to create an autumn card today. So I hope everybody is ready for that. Okay, before we get started on this, I just wanted to remind you, in case you forgot, that the mini catalog for fall and holiday and winter is in full swing now. So if you don't have a paper catalog and you would like to get a paper catalog, or you would like to view the actual catalog with all the products, all the layouts, all the inspiration, all the samples, if you'd like to look at that in digital form, I can send you a link for that. So down below this video in the description, there's a link for my email. There's a link on my website. There's lots of ways that you can send me a message. So if you're looking for either the digital format or you want to order a paper copy, or you have just questions about it, let me know. The other thing is, besides this catalog going live last week, we also have lots of online exclusives for the holidays. And actually, what we're using today is an online exclusive. So contact me if you need some help finding out what all the new goodies are. I would be happy to help you with that. So, as I said, this is a quick and easy fun fold. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit here because you don't need to look at the base of my lights. That's kind of distracting. Okay, that's better. All right, I have a piece of early espresso cardstock, and this is 9 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I've already put a score line right here at 5.5. And I usually say this, but I think I forgot today. So if you're here with me live, be sure and say hi in the comments so I know that you're here and I can say hi. I see Lisa is here. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So that's our early espresso. Then I've got two pieces of this basic beige, and these are just square. They're 4 inches by 4 inches. So there's two of those. Then this is just a scrap of basic beige. And then I've got this little piece of old olive, and this is 1 1/4 inches by 4 inches. So that's all of the paper goods that we need. We're going to do some stamping today. It's kind of like creating our own designer series paper. And this just doesn't want to stay still, does it? No. Okay, that's better. So we're going to kind of create our own designer series paper. We are going to use this stamp set called Gathering Moments. And this is one of the new online exclusives. I love this stamp set. These are distinctive stamps, which means when you stamp it, it already puts in all the shading and the details of these images. Really beautiful. You're going to see if you're not already familiar with the distinctive stamps. And then some really great sentiments in this stamp set as well. The other thing that we're going to use that is also in the new online exclusives is this embossing folder, and it's called Gathering Leaves. And I don't know if you can see, but it's just many, 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 many tiny little leaves. Really cute. So there's the embossing folder. It's a big one. It's a really big embossing folder. All right. So we're going to use that as well. What should we do first? Let's stamp first. Let's do some stamping. I'm gonna grab a piece of scrap paper here, and I've got my phone camera down lower than usual. So it's kind of throwing me off, but that's okay. I put it down lower today so you could see a little bit more clearly the stamping. I'm opening up my Crush Curly stamp pad. Here we go. And I'm going to use this large leaf stamp, this one. Oh, I'm going to just ink that up. This morning, my stamp club met at my house and we made this card together. I think you're going to like it. The stamp club ladies loved it. There we go. And my ink pad is really inky, so that's coming kind of dark, but that's okay because leaves are all kinds of colors, aren't they? Okay, now let's, and I'm going to use this one. That's such a cute little stamp. I love it. All right, let's put this kind of down here. And we'll do one over here. And how about one up in this area? Just kind of being random here with my design. Now I'm going to use Agent Craze, which is another great fall color. Okay, this is just going to drive me bananas. It doesn't want to stay still. Hold on, let me see if I can tighten this up here. And maybe that will stay in place. It's kind of crazy. Okay, now I'm going to use this stamp. That's the little acorn. So cute. And let's put an acorn here. And let's put one kind of in this area. And let's do one more down here. So I'm just kind of turning the stamp, going different directions. So it does look kind of random. Now, the last stamp that I'm going to use on this is this one, which is just kind of, I call it like a filler stamp. It's just a little bit dot, right? It's just going to put a little something in the empty spaces. And so, what I like to do when I use those, I'm going to use my basic beige ink pad, and I want it to be really light. So, I'm actually going to stamp off because I don't want this to be like a feature of um of what I'm doing here. It's just something subtle in the background. So let's put a little filler in here. And if it overlaps with the other stamps, it's fine because it is so light. It doesn't detract from the other images. Just softens up some of that empty space a little bit. All right. I'm going to say that is good enough. Now, let's, I think I can get rid of this. Can always bring it back if I need it again. I have this little scrap, remember? And I am going to use this beautiful gather stamp. I love it. I love this big G. Think it's so pretty, and I'm going to use my early espresso ink. So let's get that inked up, and there we are. I love it. It looks like somebody just wrote it. I mean, I couldn't write that pretty. And there's one more thing I wanted to do. This piece is going to go on the inside. And I did want to put just a little something right here in the corner. So there's this other little stamp. It it kind of looks like berries. And I'm going to use that Cajun craze again and put that just right in the corner. There we go. Okay. Now this I'm going to just tear. I haven't torn paper in a while. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. So you guys tell me, do you like the haired, haired, torn, torn paper? Look, I don't like it on everything, but there's just some things I can't see what I'm doing. There are just some things that I think it works really well with. There we go. Okay, let's grab this. Remember, it's already scored at 5.5. Grab my bone folder, burnish that. Now, I go ahead and put this on here. Oh, and you know what? I can see that I didn't cut this right. So guess what? We're going to cut. We're going to cut something. And I didn't trim it quite where I wanted it to be. And now I have to just figure out where I went wrong. Oops, this goes the other way. So this should be, oh, I scored it at the wrong place, I think is our issue. It should have been scored here. So guess what? Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We need another piece of early espresso. Let's see if this one is scored in the right place. Yes, success. Okay. Okay, let's do it with this piece. How about that? So, fold and burnish. Now, does that fit? Yes, it fits. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue that on the front of our card. I think this turned out so pretty, and it's not hard at all. You just grab your stamps, grab some ink pads, put it all together. And so for this card, I just looked at designer series paper because there is some designer series paper that coordinates with the stamp set. And I just looked at the colors that were in the paper because the paper is gorgeous. So, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do what they did. I'm like, I want some dimensionals. So let me put a few on the back of this. We're going to pop this up. And of course, at the very end, we've got a little bling. Okay, how about right about there? Old olive. I'm going to emboss that. So I'm going to use this embossing folder that I showed you at the beginning. And I've already forgotten what it was called. Hold on. It is called Gathering Leaves. So I'm going to run this through my machine off camera, but I am going to put it in here. There we go. So hold on. I'm going to run this through. Here we go. Got it. Let's get it out of there. And there we are. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, so this is going to go right here along this edge. And then this is just going to go right next to it, right like that. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get those in place. I would say that the kind of the warm colors of fall are not my favorite pick, although I do love fall. I really like the season, but the things that are kind of the yellows and the oranges and this I do love me some pretty fall cards. I do. Like I usually get a little more excited about the bright colors, the summer colors, the spring colors, but we gotta have some fall too. So let me see if I can get that and just push it right up against this other piece of cardstock. Yeah. Oh, pretty. Okay, bling. We need bling. So I'm going to use these. These are also new, the Cajun Craze and Gold dots. But I don't know if you can see. They are Cajun Craze in color, but there's lots of little gold flecks in there. Almost looks like tiny gold glitter. So let's add some of that to our card. And there's three sizes here, so I'm gonna just take the medium one and put it right in here. And let's grab one of these larger ones. There we are. And put that there. And then a little one right here. There we go. So easy. It just couldn't be any easier. Look at that. Very fun. All right. Let me check with you guys in the comments and see what's going on. So I said hello to Lisa. Carla is here. Hi, Carla. And Mary and Linda and Judy. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Hi, you guys. Glad you're here. Lots of people love fall. Yep. I like it because the summer is so hot and fall is signaling that the weather is changing and it's getting cooler. And that is always a big relief. Oh, Linda, linen thread. Linen thread would be beautiful on this card. It would go right in there. It fits the mood. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Oh, and Sherry just popped in. Hi, Sherry. All right, let's make another one. Why not? Right? Let's mix it up just a little bit. and make another. So this time, let's use let's use crushed curry for the card base. And let's see if I scored this one in the right place. 5.5, yay. Okay. Fold and burnish. Oops. So mostly I'm going to stamp the same. I am going to change one thing, but I'm curious to see how much different the card looks with a different card. All right. And I already did the embossing folder, so that's done. Let's stamp. And I need to clean one of my stamps because I am going to use color on one of them. Okay. I'm going to start again with the crushed curry. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I've got our crushed curry here, and we're going to use this big, beautiful leaf. And I was just kind of working in threes. I don't know why, but that just felt right. I mean, my favorite number is three, so that works for me. And turn it again. Okay. And let's do that little green stem again with the little leaves. There. And down here. Sometimes it's fun to do something with the stamps instead of using the designer series paper that they provide for us. Although I do love the paper, that's kind of what got me going. When you can use the stamps to kind of make your own designer series paper, I think that's super fun. All right, now the last one here is this little acorn, and I'm going to use the early espresso. I used the Cajun craze on the last card, but because our card base is Cajun craze, I want to use something. And I'm a little concerned that it will be really dark on here and kind of interrupt the flow. So I am going to stamp off. We'll see how that goes because it's just so dark and I don't want it to stand out a lot more distinctly than other images here. I think it's plenty dark with the stamped off version. Let's turn this around and put it down here. Okay, now let's go back to this little stamp. And remember, I'm doing a tone on tone, so basic beige ink on the basic beige cardstock. I'm going to stamp this off because I want it to be very, put this right in here. And then I'll put a little here, some there. I don't know, maybe we need a little bit right here. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's keep going and fill every spot on it, but Sometimes that's overkill. So I think that will do that. Very good. And yes, I still want this because I'm going to do the berries in the same color. So I do need to clean that stamp real quick. All right. And I want to stamp off that. Bring that back. There we go. Just put this up in the corner. Okay. Okay. Now we have a decision. So on this card that we just made, we did the gather in the early espresso. So it matches the card base. So on this one, should we stick with the early espresso for the gather, or should we do it in not crushed curry, Cajun craze? This is Cajun craze. So should we do it in that color, or should we stick with the early espresso? So think about that and let me know in the comments while I am putting this together. And you guys help me decide which which ink we should stamp that sentiment in. I have made, I mean, at least once a year, I come back to this layout because it's so cute, it's so easy. I do call it a fun fold just because this one side is shorter than the other, but it's the easiest fun fold you'll ever do. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Yes, so this is the crushed curry with the embossing. I did that before we got together today. I think this is the first time I've done this card though, and done all the stamping on the front. I think I usually use designer series paper. So a little bit different for me. So let's just nudge that right up against that crushed curry. Okay, here's our little scrap. We're gonna stamp and let me see what you guys think. Let's see. Okay, Cajun craze, Cajun craze, Cajun craze, Cajun craze. That was an easy decision, wasn't it? Okay, so we're gonna stamp gather and Cajun praise. I do need to clean that stamp because I don't want to mix my early espresso into my Cajun craze pad. Pretty, really pretty. Okay, time to tear. There we go. So that is going to look great. Now, I feel like I don't want to use these because it would be kind of fighting with this. So something with more contrast. And someone was mentioning wine. Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to grab my twine and we're going to make a little bow or something or something. I'm not going to stick it down yet. Hold on. Let me grab my twine or linen thread, I guess is what it really is. Okay. Linen thread. And that is a great suggestion. It's going to look really beautiful on this. Whoops, sorry, I bumped the camera. And you know, when the thread and the twine, when you take it off, it's all very, very curly. And so I always like to just run it between the pad of my finger and my thumbnail. And that helps it to relax a little bit. It's way easier to work with when it's like that. Okay. So, so here's a question. Should we I can definitely tie a bow. We can put a really pretty bow on here. Or I could do like a bow that sticks out from underneath it or something like that. So what do we think? We want a bow that is visible or one that's underneath and kind of peeks out? I know I'm asking you guys all kinds of questions today, but I haven't made the card with this color before, so I hadn't really thought about it. So any ideas about how to use this beautiful linen thread? Let me play with it. My gather is kind of big. Oh, I mean, if I did it a few times and that was kind of sticking out from underneath it, what do we think? Oh, a small double loop bow. Okay, Linda, that's what I'm gonna do. I saw your comment first. That's what we're gonna do. So the way I like to do that, let's see if I can pull it off today. My thread. I don't know if I've done it long enough. We're gonna find out. Make the little red like this. And I need to zhuzh it around a little bit. So just kind of fiddling with it, right? And I am going to pull one of the loops out just a little bit so they're not both exactly the same size. So one's a little bigger than the other one. I could spend all day playing with that, but you'd probably get bored. So now, and let's move this out of the way. Okay, now I can just I could put it on, or I could put it down here. Looking for suggestions. Looking for suggestions. Like down below, up above. Both so cute. Okay. Oh, now I see Judy says it looks good there, but I don't know where I had it. Oh, below. Okay, thank you. the fact. Okay, so if we just kind of put it right up against the gather down here, let's do that. Let's do that. And I'm going to, because we're going to do that, I'm just going to raise my gather up a little higher. And I'm just going to put it right in here. How about that? I need a glue dot. Glue dot, glue dot, glue dot. Let's get one of those. Wow, my glue dot doesn't want to leave its paper. Let's try that again. I might have to resort to my take your pick tool. Oh, there, it came off. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like right up against right there. So super cute. I'm gonna use this because my glue dot is sticking out a little bit. I'm gonna tell it it needs to go underneath. Separate these out a little bit. So adorable. What a great idea. Very fun. All right, where's that other one? There we go. Gather and gather. Anyone have a favorite? I'm going to come over and look at your comments. All right. Oh, we have new friends. Okay. Since the last time I looked. Let me just scroll through here a little bit. Okay, Marina. I don't think I said hi to you. Hello, and thanks for being here. Crazy weather. Mm. Oh my goodness, people in canoes? That sounds terrible. Oh my goodness. Every time, like, it seems like when the seasons are changing, right? We're transitioning from one season to another, the weather gets a little bit wonky. A little bit wonky. Okay, well, everybody needs to stay safe. Okay. All right. It looks like we've got thumbs up on the fall cards. Yeah, just this little piece with the embossed is kind of a fun touch. So that is what I've got for you guys today. So head start on autumn. Like I said, I think the official start of autumn is next Monday. So we're a week ahead of time. And I'm not usually ahead of schedule. I'm usually either just showing up on time or I'm behind time. So this is a big accomplishment for me to be here doing autumn cards now. All right. So remember, I mentioned at the beginning, if you haven't seen the mini catalog with all the wonderful holiday stuff in it, go down underneath this video. There's a description down there, and there is my email addresses down there. Also, link to my website. Also, link to my Facebook page and my Instagram page. So there are lots of ways to send me a message if you need something, all right, or if you're looking for a catalog. So with that, I think that's it for today. And we'll do this again next Monday. We'll make a different card. All right. Thanks so much for being here. Have a wonderful week. I will see you next Monday. Bye bye.